Picture this. You're scrolling through TikTok when a video pops up. A tense standoff between a DoorDash driver and a Texas customer. Voices raised, eyes glaring. And the comments section? A battlefield over tipping culture in America. Some say drivers deserve more. Others are swearing off DoorDash altogether. And here's the thing. It's not just about slow service or cold food anymore, because if you've ever used the app, and I mean really looked at your receipt after hitting order, there's a piece of insider info you need to know, the kind of detail that might make you pause before tapping that confirm button ever again. Let's start with something you've probably noticed, but maybe brushed off. That $10 burger you know and love from your local spot? On DoorDash, it's suddenly $15. No, your brain's not broken. The price really is higher. And there's a sneaky reason why your wallet feels emptier every time you order. DoorDash quietly takes 15 to 30% of every single dollar a restaurant earns through their platform. Restaurants can't survive losing that much profit per order, so they do the only thing they can: jack up the menu prices for delivery customers. That $10 pasta? Now $13. The $8 sandwich? It's suddenly $11. Run the math. Order $20 worth of food through the app, and you're really paying $25 for the same exact items. Add a $3 delivery fee, then a $2 service fee, and now you're sitting at $30 before you even think about tipping your driver. Here's where it gets clever. DoorDash loves to advertise free delivery, but it works about as well as free puppy. Cute until you realize all the extra costs that come with it. Those delivery fees may vanish, but the price markups, service fees, and random small order charges creep in to take their place. What's even more eye-opening? DoorDash charges restaurants extra just to show up higher in search results. It's like paying for a parking space, then being charged again if you want people to actually find your car. And some restaurants have even resorted to creating two separate menus. One for dine-in customers with the real prices, and one for app orders that's inflated to cover DoorDash's cut. You're essentially shopping at two different stores, and they're not telling you which one you're in. And here's the kicker: this system works beautifully for DoorDash. They get paid by the restaurants. They get paid by you. They get a slice of every single transaction. Everyone else, the restaurants, the customers, even the drivers, is just trying to break even while DoorDash counts their profits. But that's just the money part. Things get even messier. Literally. When you look at what happens to your food after you hit order, think about it. When you dine in at a restaurant, your food travels maybe 20 feet from the kitchen to your table. When you order delivery, that same meal could travel 20 miles, get stuck in traffic, and sit in a stranger's car longer than most people's commute to work. DoorDash often groups multiple orders together to make things more efficient for drivers. That means your burger gets picked up, then sits in the car while the driver collects someone else's sushi, maybe swings by another restaurant for a pizza, and finally heads in your direction. By the time it reaches you, your fries have gone from golden crisp to limp and lifeless. Food service experts estimate that hot meals lose about 40% of their temperature during a typical delivery route. That's not just lukewarm. That's the difference between fresh and leftovers. Restaurants can try to adapt by undercooking fries so they crisp up later, or packing hot and cold items separately. But most just cook everything as usual and hope it survives the trip. And then there's the delivery gear. Professional catering services use insulated carriers and temperature-controlled trucks. DoorDash drivers? They get a basic hot bag, if they even use it. Some don't bother at all. Your $18 poke bowl might be riding in the back seat next to gym clothes and half-empty soda cups. It gets worse during peak hours. Order on a Friday night at 6 p.m., and your meal could sit at the restaurant for 20 minutes before a driver shows up. Then another 20 minutes in the car during multiple stops. You're eating an hour after it was cooked, if you're lucky. And just when you think that's bad enough, there's another layer to this that'll have you looking twice at your next delivery receipt. Here's where your jaw might drop, because while you're paying more than ever for that burger and fries, the money isn't landing where you think it is. Those delivery fees, they don't go to your driver. The service fees, also not your driver. Even the inflated menu prices, that's just the restaurant trying to claw back what DoorDash takes in commission. The only thing that actually pays your driver is your tip. And here's the clever part. DoorDash has figured out a way to make you feel guilty enough to keep tipping more and more, year after year. Remember when a 15% tip was considered generous? Then it crept to 18%, then 20%. Now some apps are pushing for 25% or even 30% on top of the inflated menu prices and fees you've already paid. It's like gas prices. Once they go up, they never come back down. Let's break down a real example. You order $30 worth of food, add a $5 delivery fee, a $3 service fee, and now the app suggests a $7 tip. That's $15 in fees and tips. On a $30 order, you're paying half the price of your meal just to get it delivered. And here's the really shady twist. Drivers know the game. Many will prioritize orders with bigger tips and push smaller tipping customers to the bottom of the list. So if you tip modestly, your food could be riding around town for an hour while your driver chases better paying orders first. It's a system that works perfectly for DoorDash. They provide the platform, but everyone else is paying rent to be there. Customers pay more, restaurants lose money, and drivers depend entirely on tips to survive. Now, don't get me wrong, good drivers who go above and beyond deserve to be tipped well. But you shouldn't have to tip your way out of a broken system. It's like paying for a bus ticket, then being told you can upgrade to first class for triple the price. Except the upgrade is just having your stop come sooner. The real solution? DoorDash could simply pay its workers properly. When you buy a burger at McDonald's, you're not asked to tip the cashier because the company pays their wages. But the gig economy has trained us to believe that tips should cover everything. So here's the little-known workaround. Skip the app entirely. Most restaurants would love it if you called them directly. They can't say that out loud. DoorDash contracts sometimes forbid it. But here's the truth. If you call, they keep 100% of your money. No commission, no middleman, and you'll often get rewarded for it. Lower prices, faster service. Sometimes even secret deals they can't offer through the app. That $16 burger on DoorDash? $13 if you call and pick it up yourself. Plus, you skip the app delay where your order sits waiting for a driver to accept it. When you call, the restaurant sends your order straight to the kitchen. They can also answer questions, handle special requests, and make sure your meal is packaged for you. Not for a 40-minute car ride. Some places even run loyalty programs for direct customers. Buy 9 meals? Get the 10th free. But you'll never see that on DoorDash. They can afford these perks because they're not losing 30% to an app. The difference is night and day. Call directly, and you're treated like a regular. Order through an app, and you're just another ticket in the queue. Restaurants know pickup customers get their food fresh, hot, and in perfect condition. Delivery customers? Well, let's just say they get whatever survives the trip. But even if you do stick with the app, there's something about the behind-the-scenes process that most people have no idea about. And once you do, you'll never look at that "your food is on the way" notification the same again. Between the kitchen and your doorstep, your meal can pass through up to 5 different pairs of hands. Think about that. 5 strangers handling something you're about to eat. DoorDash does background checks, sure, but they're basic, more like, are you legally allowed to drive a car? Then, should we trust you with someone's dinner? It's the kind of screening you'd expect if they were hiring dog walkers, not people delivering food that goes straight into your mouth. And while most drivers are just trying to make an honest living, the bad apples are what make the headlines. And for good reason. Security cameras have caught drivers opening sealed bags to peek inside, taking a few fries, or even removing whole food items. Some tamper with drinks. Others accidentally grab the wrong order and disappear. Restaurants try to fight this by using tamper-proof seals and double-bagging orders, but plenty still hand over meals in plain paper bags, folded at the top, ready for anyone to open. That $25 sushi platter you splurged on might have the same security as a takeout menu flapping in the wind. It's not just the tampering risk. Completed orders often sit out in the open at restaurants for 15 or 20 minutes before anyone picks them up. In that time, any random person walking by, a customer, another driver, even a delivery guy from a competing app, could touch it, mess with it, or just take it. Staff are too busy cooking and serving dine-in customers to babysit the pile of app orders waiting by the door. Then there's the hot bag situation. DoorDash recommends drivers use insulated bags to keep food at a safe temperature. But recommend is not require. Nobody's inspecting bags or enforcing cleanliness. Some drivers reuse the same stained, grease-soaked bag for weeks. Others skip it entirely and toss your order in the trunk. Your dinner might be sharing backseat space with gym socks, tools, pet carriers, or last week's groceries. And the delivery drop-off? That's its own gamble. Some drivers will carefully hand you your order with a smile. Others leave it on the ground where ants, raccoons, or your neighbor's cat might get to it before you do. Bad weather? Doesn't matter. You might find your Thai curry soaking in rainwater because the driver didn't want to knock. The app's tracking system? Totally misleading. It might say your driver is at the restaurant when they're actually sitting in a parking lot waiting for another order to stack. It might say they're on the way when they're really making 2 or 3 other stops first. All of this chaos comes from the same core problem. DoorDash's business model is designed for speed, scale, and profit, not food safety or quality. The drivers are independent contractors. The restaurants are under pressure to fulfill orders quickly, and customers are kept in the dark about what actually happens between the kitchen and their door. And if you think the food handling concerns are bad, just wait until you hear about how DoorDash treats restaurants themselves. Because that's a whole other level of questionable. Here's the part most customers never hear about. DoorDash has a history of putting restaurants on its platform without even asking permission. Small, family-owned spots have woken up to find their menus listed online. Orders coming in from strangers through an app they never signed up for, at prices they didn't set. Imagine someone setting up a garage sale in your driveway, selling your stuff, and then keeping half the money. That's basically what's happening. And because DoorDash scrapes old menu data from the internet, the prices are often wrong. You might order something the restaurant stopped serving months ago, or pay a marked up price that has nothing to do with reality. When the food arrives late, cold, or wrong, customers blame the restaurant, not the app, even though the restaurant had no control over the listing in the first place. This has led to a mountain of lawsuits, labor violations, misleading advertising, unfair competition, using customer tips to subsidize driver wages instead of adding to them. Yes, you heard that right. For years, if you tipped more, DoorDash would simply pay your driver less and pocket the difference. It took public outrage and legal action to get them to stop. And yet, despite all that, the machine keeps running. DoorDash still dominates the delivery game because convenience is a powerful drug. They've made ordering food as easy as tapping a button, and quietly made us believe that cold fries, inflated prices, and questionable handling are just the new normal. But it doesn't have to be. There are better options. Options that keep your money in your community, keep your food fresh, and keep small businesses from drowning in fees. You can call restaurants directly. You can pick up your order yourself. You can use smaller, local delivery services that don't skim 30% off the top. And when you do, you're not just saving a few bucks. You're voting with your wallet for a system that treats everyone involved a little more fairly. Because every time you order through DoorDash, you're not just paying for your dinner. You're funding a system that makes billions while leaving the people who actually make and deliver your food scrambling to get by. And the next time you get that "your food is on the way" notification, just remember, it might be riding in a stranger's car next to a pair of gym shoes, taking the scenic route across town, while the company behind it counts your money before your meal even gets to you. So yeah, maybe that call for pickup button deserves a lot more love. And maybe, just maybe, the real convenience is knowing you're getting exactly what you ordered, at the price you were meant to pay, without a corporate middleman taking a bite before you do.